I don't know if you guys can hear me. Let me see. I'd rather have this other way. Let me see. Turn around so I can see everybody. Sorry. This is a mess. Well. Hello. I don't know if anybody's home. Anybody home? 20 seconds. I'll give you 1 minute. New Gear Day. I'm happy. Some people are going to be happy for me, and some people are going to be disappointed. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Georgies? Can you hear me clearly? I'm not sure if you can hear me clearly. 100%? Great. New Gear Day, right? I bought this something here, and it's not a new gear because this is the thing. It's time to. I'm getting the stuff that people don't want, and because probably it's because people either didn't care of learning how to use it or something happened. But this high quality used gear in really mint conditions out there for so cheap. All right, very freaking cheap. And this is not gonna be the greatest equipment, but to me it is, because I already know what I'm gonna do with this piece of equipment. And I'm excited for it. So easy. Can you guess what it is? I don't think so, because I always talk with this. Dun, 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 dun. It's Roland, baby. I used to have the TR-8S, and I loved that machine. I loved it to death, but I hated the limitations because it was a drum machine, right? Nope, not the Versa. Here we go. You got the MC707. Why did I get this? Because there are things and there are things, right? Some people don't like it. They say it's a lot of menu divey. I don't believe that, because you know the MPC is menu divey, right? So I really don't care too much about that. I don't have that much battery left. I'm not gonna go deep into this, but I want to show you the condition this machine came in. Look at this, people. Look at this. With the box, with the plastic. I want you to see. Look at the pads. Those pads are, nobody touched that. There's not even a stain. Bro, the faders, the faders are like, bro, they're like super tight. I think nobody used this, or whoever had it didn't use it. Barely any, like, look at this. Look at this. They didn't even use the MIDI. There's no sign of usage of the MIDI inputs and outputs. Right? Look at that SD. Well, did this person even use the SD card on it? I don't think so. Look, you can see at the plastic inputs, you see there's no scratches, so they didn't use that. They didn't use this. Let me see. I can tell the mix out was used. That's basically it. Right? You see, not even the USB is not even scratched. So that means that they barely play with this thing. The knobs, they're new. They're new. They're not like, they have a ton. They're not loose. Not yet. Not yet. $500, sir. $500. This is basically new. I don't know how they did it, but this is basically, I can tell they touch the power, the FX thing here. They touched it a little bit, but it still feels new. And the encoders are very nice and clicky. I don't see markings anywhere. There's no markings. There's a little marking there. You can see on the plastic, it's a little markings there. But you see there's a little scratch right there. But you look at the feet, the plastic feet. They're basically, this was put on top of something and never moved because they don't have any wear on them. And you will see that on one side of the machine. The other side of the machine is mint. Like, you see there's a scratch right there. And this is dirty. I can clean that off. I can clean that off with a little bit of alcohol and it goes away. Bro. Look, the pads, bro. The pads. These pads are solid. The lettering, that like usually what happens with pads that have letterings and markings on them, what usually happens is when you use them, when you really use them, your sweat gets into those little letterings and it will fade away. Right? So to me, it's a great buy for the price, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know about you, but there's a way of using this machine in a performance mode type of way. And on top of the fact that it has multiple engines, like this is a full-blown synthesizer, an 8-part synthesizer if I want it. I can multiply my external inputs into the first 4 and then use the next 4. I can use one as a looper. Like I can grab the audio from a live performance and then mess with it afterwards. I know that it's not instant like an RC202 or like an Octatrack, but I know my idea is to have fun, and I'm gonna make this machine is gonna make me have so much fun because the MPC, I know that I made a performance template on the MPC, but the performance template on the MPC eats up all the like all the CPU and all the stuff on the MPC. And this one, you can perform with it and it's not gonna affect the way the machine works, right? So that's what's different about this from an MPC. I'm gonna keep the MPC because the MPC is a great sequencer, and this one also a sequencer, but I might do something with the MPC. I might get rid of it or might sell it, and if I sell it, I might get me an Octatrack, together with this, and like super, it's like having extra disgusting amount of power, you know what I mean? So I can do pretty much with what I got, I can do, but with this I want to have, so it has, as you can see, it has external input and then it has return, right? So external input, return. Why this is important? Because the returns can be assigned to multiple channels, and those multiple channels can have multiple things like either filters or effects, and it can be routed to the main effects also. So that's 2 effects plus you have the filter plus 2 effects, right? You can assign 2 effects, the filter plus the main filters, the main effects. So that gives you plenty of effects. Now, when I make music, I try to give space for the music. I'm not triggering effects every 2 seconds, right? So what is important here is that even if I had, let's say I had an Octatrack. Yeah, boy. Even if I had, let's say, Octatrack, I'm not gonna be able to start making effects every 4 bars. You don't do that on music. You do effects on certain parts of the music where you want to bring attention to the music, right? And that's why you use like punching effects and things like that. And this has a scatter feature that gives me 16 scatter. So I can program all 16 different scatter options on the machine. That's more than enough. That's plenty of power. And people are sleeping on this machine. I know there's some people that like Trusto. I think he had it and he went from this to the MPC XL, which is great because the MPC XL can handle. It has 4 inputs, which is crazy, and it can handle the burden of having a shit ton of effects. And it was a great decision from him from going to this to an XL. Awesome decision, great buy. But in my case, because I'm a little, I don't have the budget for those type of things, I got me this bargain. You know, $500, ladies and gentlemen, brand new basically. If you buy it new, this is $1,050 plus tax, so it's probably $1,100, $1,200. You know, yeah, I'm happy. I'm excited. I'm gonna check the chat right quick, and I gotta go because I gotta go pick up the kids from school. Let me see. Let me see here. Said Georgie said you got a deal on it. Yeah, $500. That's great. Yes, sir. Georgie's, thank you for showing up. Twin Cities Oxygen. The Machines won. The Machines won is gonna be mad at me because I bought this thing. Your track was sick. Apollo said it was ripping over it, and it was. Yeah, I mean it was a nice beat. It was a bit of inspiration when I did it. That beat was made. When I made that beat, it was a mix of the analog rhythm was a key part on the drum sounds. That's why those drums sound really nice on that. Even though I kept it simple, and you know, I kept it simple. Listen, guys, when you make drums, try to make it as simple as possible. You don't want to mess too much with the drums. Either the drums sound good the way they are or they don't. So that's why you got to choose the right drums when you're making music. Choose the right drums from the beginning. And you know, too much processing on drums makes the drums lose their spark, their thing. And also the analog rhythm, as you know, it's a fully analog circuitry on it, and it makes a hell of a lot of difference, especially when you add a tad little bit of overdrive. You drive it a little bit, not too much. You just drive it a little bit, and you can feel that thump in there. You say, I hate rolling machines, most inconvenient and overpriced junk in synth world. That's fine. That's fine. That's your take on it. I had the TR-8S, and I let it go for an analog rhythm because I wanted analog drums. But if I didn't do that, and also the micro timing is non-existent on the TR-8S, that's why I didn't get it. You know, that's why I got rid of it and got me the analog rhythm. Now this one has micro timing, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you use. You just gotta know how to use it. Yeah, that's all. That's all it is. It's a great buy. Yes, it was a great buy. Great pickup. Yes, sir. Mr. Conductive, how you doing? Crazy Rabbit. TR-8S and 707 Mafia. Yes, I'm the type of guy that I don't discriminate. I go with Electron. I go with Akai. I go with Behringer. I go with ASM. I go with I don't discriminate. What I'm looking is what is best for me, what my mind wants to do, and what's best for me. That's what I go with. It don't matter I don't care about I don't have an alliance with companies because companies serve me. I don't serve them. All right. Is the machine was happy for you? Thank you. I know. You told me that. Don't go with that shit. But I Electron is gonna still be in my setup, is that there's things and there's things, right? And there's needs that I need to fill up, and there's budgets that I have. So I have a certain amount of budget of money monthly for this type of thing, and I know what I can buy and I know what I cannot buy. And what I want to buy, I eventually will get it, but on its due time, because I have other life projects that I'm working on other than music that needs to be, tend to. So I can't, I can't go too crazy with, money habits and shit like that. Crazy Rabbit says, shout out to a great job in the Kumita. Thank you very much, Crazy Rabbit. You too. You guys did great. Everybody, I mean, I love the way that the sound is coming out of everybody's music. I was mad entertained yesterday. It was like watching a concert. 1 minute, I'm in the 3 o'clock. Yeah, I don't care, bro. I'm coming. I have a clock in my face. Jesus Christ. Okay, it says here, the machines what I like hearing, you're still looking at the octave. That's coming soon. And the A4 too. Slowly, because these are more expensive machines, and I have to, when I make this purchase, if I'm gonna buy secondhand, it has to be, I have to be careful what I buy or from who I buy it from. Not everything, like this one is basically new, bro. This thing is brand new. They didn't use this machine at all. I can tell. I've been using machines for a really long time now, and I can tell it's barely touched. Is that everyone tracks were hot last night, and I'm going to rewind later. Yes, I have to go back right now after this. I'm gonna go back and watch some stuff, because I need to put my vote in. I haven't put and I'm not going to vote for myself. I'm going to vote for somebody other than me. So that's why I want to rewatch, and I want to get into a consensus for who am I voting for. I pretty much have a ballpark of who am I going to vote for, but I want to re-listen again. I want to enjoy the whole committee again today before we hit 7 o'clock. I'll make my decision. Said the machine wants a conducting. I heard you were letting Samurai borrow that digi. Nice. Definitely not junk. Yeah, I am. That's conductive. That's a good. I know. I love it. I gotta make all your electronauts. Yeah, of course. Electron is the best stuff out there right now. One of the best companies out there right now. And they stole a lot of electron ideas on this machine. I tell you that. And they know what they were going for when they made this one. So this is gonna be great. I gotta sit down and I gotta make more music. And like I say always, guys, just sit down and make some music. I'll see you in the tubes. All right, I gotta go. See you later.